Can y'all see this?
What
What
happened?
happened?
Show first record.
Well, if, y'all see how we starting out, gang, gang.
Yeah,
Okay.
But I guess y'all not privy to this conversation because
nah,
although we wanna,
I
although
can't.
we like talking to y'all, everything ain't for everybody. So mind your business.
Statute of limitations ain't expired yet. Yeah, he's fresh.
Oh, okay.
He's
Yeah, I see
fresh.
that.
Oh
Got
man,
you.
welcome everybody to another episode of Politics as Usual, featuring your girl, me, Shelly.
AB,
Hey,
I'm in
your
the
man,
building.
bruised knuckles.
So we just gonna take that as that and move on from that.
Okay,
But
I think. Oh, go ahead,
go ahead,
Shelly. My
no,
bad.
go ahead.
I was just going to say because life was. He was telling us a story, um, right before we press record, and then I'm sitting here looking at myself, and I'm looking at my transitional self, and as we're in this age of all eyes on you, and I just wanted to talk like about our bruised up selves, our transitional selves, and our just who we are and our vessel selves, right? And how we
So
show up as that.
let me ask you this question: can you clarify transitional self for the people who may not know what that means?
Oh yeah, so over the weekend I took my hair out. So if you know me or you look into me, I've always be having my nice tresses, or whatever. And if you're somebody who gets your hair done on a regular, you got to take it out, you got to wash it, you got to prep it, you got to think about the style. Um, and I think I'm beautiful or whatever, but I kind of put on my hat in that during that time or whatever. But I still feel like Amira Big, the love coach, right? Um, and I saw a post earlier actually, and it was like basically saying like kind of saying like I know you think I'm amazing, but I actually it was saying like all random stuff. I know you think I'm amazing, but I be crying like every night because I'm dealing with the loss of my puppy dog, or I actually just all types of just things that aren't necessarily common or normalized um in the world we live in today. You know what I mean? It's just being normal, even though we're extraordinary people. Like how do we balance being normally extraordinary? You guys get it? Or I gotta clarify a little bit more.
You can go ahead and clarify a little bit more if your lungs allow you.
Yeah. Just like I saw something the other day that was saying like if you're somebody who cursed a lot, you should probably detox from cursing for at least 30 days because it does something to your brain and release some type of something. And I'm like, everything you everything you say I can't do. I curse. I'm extraordinary, I'm amazing, and I do top tier things and I curse. So the point
So,
is,
so to try to clarify what you're saying, so I can make sure I understand what you're saying. So embracing those things about ourselves that the world may not deem as extraordinary,
yes,
like
that's a good one.
cursing or crying or
Yeah,
whatever, or not having your hair done or okay. I see a
yeah,
lot of times like I always notice that when a person posts or let's say they're not dressed the way that they're normally dressed up or they don't have makeup on or they don't have hair or they may have a dish in the bag. I notice a lot of times they'll be like, "Oh, excuse my hair. I didn't get my hair done," or "Excuse my appearance. I'm transitioning between hairstyles."
yeah,
So is that like okay, I understand.
yeah, definitely like that.
You know what?
And I just wanted to shine a light on it, like, yeah,
So
bro,
I
I
seen
don't
something.
always have my hair done. You
I
upset?
seen something
But go ahead,
crazy.
like,
Um, It was on social media. I don't know if you guys seen it, but it was a girl who posted. She she was giving her daughter weave in her hair. You know, not in the sense of like, hey, let's make this a protective style, you know, or let me help the growth of my daughter's hair, blah blah blah. Nah, she was putting like length in her hair, and the daughter was only 2 years old. You know what I mean? And for you know, people who might not be in the minority or of this ethnicity, it was a black girl. You know,
Mhm.
and her daughter was 2, and she was putting all this weave in her hair and everything. And then there was another video where the little girl was a little older, maybe 6 or 7, and she was putting all this weave in her hair. And the little girl didn't feel beautiful unless she had the weave in her hair because she associated the attention every time she got the weave in her hair with how beautiful she was. So when you talk about, you know, both of you talking about women or people in general who say, "Oh, excuse me, I don't have my hair done," or this and that, it's associated with, you know, the attention that they receive. You know, the little girl was, you know, the 6-year-old was just like, "Oh my god," you know, she was just eating it up. But when
Mhm.
they took it out, she was hurt. You know, she looked like she lost something. You know, and they're not putting value into her without her hair. You know what I mean? So like that, to me, that's a hard transition. Like to have to grow up already seeking validation in something that's not yours or something that, you know, that ain't you.
And with that being said, life, it brings me to Amira's point of saying transition phase, which I don't really agree with the term like transition phase because it implies that you're in between being the person who you're supposed to be when at every stage you are exactly who you are, if that makes sense. I just must say, can I'm pretty sure everybody can attest that Amira is popping 10 with her hair pulled back in her natural self, with her
Thank you,
baseball
baby.
cap on, without her tresses. She is popping, okay? I just need you to know that. Face card don't decline at
Thank you,
all.
so.
So I would just like me, I would err on the side of considering you being in a state of your natural self, a transition state, because realistically, this is who you actually are. Everything else
Yeah.
is just like an addition. So in life, I feel like I know this. The video that you're talking about, the one that I saw, actually, the little girl was 1. It was her first birthday, and the mom put a whole quick weave in her hair, Amir, like braid
A
down
quick
with the
weave.
cat, braid down with the cat molded with the glued on tracks and the leave out. Yes, and she turned 1.
I'm taking it back.
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you. But yeah, so it can be like, you know, a little bit dangerous. Like I found myself thinking that in times where I've like made a video of myself and I noticed that I didn't look maybe as put together as I feel as though I should have looked for the video. But I feel like, to your point, how to navigate those things being normally extraordinary. I just realized that I'm a human being. I'm a person and I ain't perfect. And some days I'm gonna be a baddie. Some days I'm gonna be, you know, bad. Some days I'm gonna just be buh. But every day
So
I'm gonna be Shelly. So
Facts.
it really don't matter. Like, you know.
I think one thing that like, all right, I'm gonna just speak for me personally, but you know, I'm sure there's a group of men that probably feel the same way I feel. That, you know, women always question why men want to talk to me when I'm, you know, at the grocery store and I got on sweatpants and a baseball cap and blah, you know, blah blah blah. Like, you know, some women feel like they're not at their best.
Mm-hmm.
But for us as men, or for me personally, I don't consider it like a transition. I consider it more of a intimate space because not everybody gets to see you like that. You know, it's intimate. You know, you wearing your hat like this or your hair is like that or whatever. It's intimate. You know, I know you from an inward position out, not from outside looking in. So there's value in knowing the intimacy of a person. So, you know, although you're considering it a transition, I'm considering it to be intimate.
Sweatpants, hair tie, chilling with no makeup on. That's when you're the prettiest. I hope that you don't take it wrong. Drake knew. Drake told us years ago. That's how, and just from me hearing other men talk about it, you know, to what Life was saying, also it's kind of like most men want to meet a woman when she's what she normally looks like, because then now I know what 95% of the time I'm going to be getting. Because if I meet you when you have your hair in, your nails on, your makeup in, you beat down to the guys, you know what I'm saying? You out, you got your best outfit on, you're putting your best foot forward. That's not you 95% of the time. That's only you 5% of the time. You know how to say 95% of the time I look like this. It's only 5% of the time that I look the way that I look. That most people look when they show up, like on social media, especially social media. Just when you're putting your best foot forward, you're not like that 95% of the time. 95% of the time, we regular, regular as hell.
And that should be applauded. You know what I mean? Like,
Shout out
it's
to the regular, schmegler girls.
not even that you regular.
Don't know how to throw that shit.
You you not regular. It's just a simple day. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because
Simple.
every
I like
day,
it.
A
Because I'm
simple
definitely not
day.
regular.
yeah,
We are not
every day
regular.
is extraordinary, but you just go above and beyond the extraordinary when you do decide to turn up. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
we gotta normalize that it's not just regular. Like you
Oh, I
still
like that.
beautiful. You know what
I
I mean?
like
Like you
not
still
regular. I always, you ever think about the word extraordinary and what it actually means? It's really two separate words, extra and
Extra.
ordinary. So to be
Right.
extraordinary, you're
A
just
little extra
extraordinary, which
ordinary.
means you're just even more yourself. That's what I feel. To be ordinary
Ah,
is to be my ordinary self. So being extraordinary is just extra double down being myself.
that's yeah, I like
Because
that. I
most
like how you said
people are not comfortable with being ordinary.
it. Yourself.
Most people most people are not comfortable with doing that. So a lot of people want to be something different than what they are because they're not comfortable with being their ordinary self. So when you double down on being ordinary, that's what makes you extraordinary. Being so
Mm-hmm.
comfortable and so able to literally just be yourself. Like
hmm
I
that's what
like
makes
that.
you
I like that
extraordinary. You're just
perspective too.
extraordinary. More of ordinary. More ordinary.
Mm-hmm.
All
Even
right.
more.
Which in
That was
turn
good.
makes you extraordinary.
Yeah, I like that. You guys use the word value, which I know Shelly brought that up in a previous episode, and kind of like what you value determines what happens next.
Hmm.
And where Life was talking about how like giving these little girls the weave or whatever, and how they're gonna put their beauty, their value of beauty inside of that. And I thought about it too, like, wow. Well, honestly, I wasn't allowed to have a weave until I went to ninth grade because I was going to high school. And then that's when my parents let me get. Remember in the ninth grade back then, you was able to get like, it was like these cute little weaves, and you could get like, it was cute anyway.
The little
It was back in the day.
twisties,
Yeah.
the little
I,
bantu knots and stuff,
yeah,
and little spikes.
that one. I was able to get that for freshman year because this is a good time to use transition. I was transitioning out of middle school into
Mhm.
high school, so a little bit more leeway with expressing yourself as a woman was given to
Yes,
me, or
absolutely.
whatever. And I like that honestly. Like I actually just told that story the other day. I like that I had to wait, um,
Hmm.
because it didn't. I didn't necessarily get the idea of like my beauty. Like for instance, I didn't start off in my home young. Like I had to get all this extra stuff for my beauty. It kind of
Hmm.
actually now when I think about beauty, it kind of actually happened as I got older, and my eyes start looking at different things,
Hmm.
simultaneously learning who exactly I am at the same time
Hmm.
or whatever. But I noticed that there was a point, and Shelly probably could attest to it because I wrote a poem about it. There was a point when I was not into my hair. I don't think it was because of my home. I think it was not the shift bling, but I think it's because what was on the outside of me and what was being shown to me, or whatever. So it took me a while to transition into the idea, like, I don't know, like this what I got, this my hair, like how can I not like myself with what God gave me or whatever.
Right.
So I'm bringing it up to say, I could see why putting a weave and a child hair at one could be very detrimental to her 20-year-old self or her 30-year-old self, and kind of shift her values on how that's supposed to be. And like, little black girls wear ballies. That's all I can say to the little black girls. Like, wear ballies and barrettes. Like, why not? Like, I mean, you'll have a chance to wear the weaves. I'm not against weaves, but y'all know, like I said, how I open. I wear my weaves, like my braids or whatever. I'm not against it, but like, wait. Sometimes I just feel like we could wait for certain things, because once you do them, they lose value. Like now, I do that all the time. Whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? So just wear your ballies and barrettes.
It's like,
control.
yeah, it's the value in your youth. Like, certain things you forward to as you became an adult. But when you devalue, your youth and move into adult things, you can remember saying something like, oh, I remember doing that when I was like 15, 16. No, you should have been doing it till you was like 21, 22.
Okay.
It devalued it. Like, I was at a basketball game the other night, and the little girl had ballies in her. I mean, she had beads in her hair. You know what I mean? She's right there with her mom next to her and everything. And she got embarrassed because one of them became unraveled and all the beads fell off on the bleachers. She's like, and she tapped them out. And I was like, nah, don't be embarrassed. Come on, I help you pick them up. So we picking up the little beads and everything. And I said to the mom, she said, the mom said to me, them rubber bands is cheap because they, like, a couple of them popped. And she's like, I just did your hair. And she's like, the rubber bands cheap. I said, you gotta go old school. You gotta take it back, put that little piece of aluminum foil on it so they don't come off.
Right. They don't know.
They
don't know nothing about the aluminum foil.
She's like, what you know about that? I said, first of all, I'm older than you. You know what I mean? Like, so she's like, no, you not. But you know what I mean? Just like the little girl was a little girl. You know what I mean? She wasn't like weaved out. She was enjoying her youth. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
She wasn't grown and sassy with me and because I was like, oh, I hope you get the bees, you know what I mean? Because she's embarrassed, all the people around.
Right.
I just hope to pick them up, and she was cool after that. She was like, thank you and everything.
I think that was special. Even if she can't see it now, I think like that helped her to know like it's okay for your bees to drop out because honey, they will drop out.
And I think the intention is really important. And I think to speak to what Amira was saying in regards to just waiting, I feel like when you wait and you're not so focused on your outer appearance when you're younger, when you grow up, your attention behind why you do certain things will be a lot different. Because I feel like you would have more of an appreciation for your extraordinary self, that when you do go and alter your appearance with whatever enhancement you want to enhance yourself with, it'll simply be because it's something that you want to do and not something that you feel like you have to do to be whole. Because a lot of people feel like that they are not whole if they don't have certain things, when it's kind of like, for you, Amira, you like to wear your tresses, I'll quote you, your tresses, simply because I feel like it's just a part of your look. It's a part of your aesthetic. It's a part of your spirituality. It's a part of what makes the love coach the love coach. You get what I'm saying? Right. But it's not like, oh, I have to have this in my hair. I can't be caught dead with my natural hair because that is a mess. Like, so the attention is a little bit different. Like, I'm doing this because I just really enjoy wearing my tresses. Like, I enjoy it, not because I don't feel like I'm not Amira B without it. And I feel like that is what is most important, the intention behind why, people do the things they do.
Two R&B singers. The first one, India Arie, when she had the song "I Am Not My Hair," but
got my hair.
But you go back a little further. Remember when Erykah Badu first got rid of the locks, and everybody went crazy, and she had the bald head. Like,
I don't remember the trend. I don't remember it.
I remember her having locks, and then I remember her not having locks, but I don't remember the transition.
Yeah, so she transitioned and shaved her head, and it just was like Erykah Badu is not Erykah Badu because Erykah Badu don't have their hair. You know what I mean? But it freed her up from being like kind of boxed in and everything. Like, she was bald head, but she had weave. Then she had locks the next day. Then she had braids. Just because like Shelly was saying, you wear your tresses because of what it means to you. People sometimes want to box us in because of what it means to them. You know what I mean? Like, they want to put you in these categories, but it's not the same. You know what I mean? Like, and I think we got to appreciate people for more than surface things. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, how well do we really know the person to understand that? Like, although we appreciate that about them, but how much more would we really appreciate them by knowing who they are from the inside out?
Right. And if listen, speaking about a transitional period between going from having hair to none, everybody know I can attest to that. Because there was a time in my life where I went Britney Spears and just went
right.
And I had a fade. I mean,
so I had
clippers, no guard, fade.
Time, but I saw the videos.
I had a fade. And so many people say, "Oh, I can never do that. I can never do that because you got a perfect shaped head, and I could never do that because I have a big head or I have biggers. I have this." No, you could do it. You just don't want to do it. You could do it if you wanted to do it, but you just don't want to do it because you feel like you don't hold the same value if you don't have hair on your head. I never felt that way. I was that girl with hair down my back or with no hair at all. Like, I'm still me. So it was just like people just couldn't understand how I was able to cut off all my hair, be bald, and still be confident in my baldness.
Yeah, I think one of the greatest visual examples that we have of that is Nappily Ever After with Sanaa Lathan.
Oh yeah, I remember that movie.
Like, I love
that was perfect. I remember that movie.
I love the transition of like how when she first cut it bald, she was trying to hide it and she ducking away, and she couldn't get the same attention that she was getting when she had the hair. And then by the end of the movie, she was confident with her short hair and everything. Like, I think that you got to be confident. You know what I mean? Like,
confidence is key.
That's the nonverbal communication that you're telling me when you cut your hair or when you don't have any hair. I've seen women on social media that had alopecia and things of that nature, and they're confident in their bald head. Yeah, do they miss their hair, or they can transition with the weaves and the wigs and all that stuff, but they're no less beautiful without the hair and the bald head and everything. I mean, I got locks now, but when the weather broke, your boy used to shave it off, like go completely bald. Like, the first time I did it was when my mom had cancer. I took the waves off, and went bald. And then after that, it was like Rick Ross when he first came out, low, like just something up there, barely anything with a line up on it. You know what I mean? But now I got the locks, and it's just like, I'm not the hair. I'm like, oh, I'm about to cut it. People like, no, don't cut it. Blah blah blah. Like, the hair don't make me. Especially if I wear a hat and you can't tell I got it anyway. You know, like it is what it is. I
Right.
mean, it's man units out here, and I ain't even bald. Yeah.
Since we talking about women's hair and their value, first of all, just shout out to all the women. It's Women's History Month, so shout out to the women making
Hey.
history. We out here. Um,
Yeah.
we are out here. Shout out to Madam C.J. Walker for the pressing comb and all that good stuff.
Facts.
Since we talking about beauty and everything.
Mhm.
Um, all right, so let's get into a little bit of messiness, pop culture. Let's jump right into it.
Uh-oh.
Diddy. I'm just gonna say the name and I'll let y'all give y'all. I don't even really know what to think. Every time I turn around, it's something else. So, what do you guys think about this whole new indict? I don't even know what the proper term is to call it, but this new case that has arisen about Diddy and what's going on.
Well, first thing that comes to
Girl, Sean is
mind,
stressing me out.
based on our homework that Shells provided us a few weeks ago, and we had to watch that Cat Williams interview, which I thoroughly enjoyed. He said, "Well, you gotta tell Diddy no, because Diddy likes to party, and that's the only thing that keeps ringing in my ear every time I hear more and more about this." And then also Orlando Brown, he's cracking me up about it too. But on a more serious note, for those who have been victimized, if they have or whatever is going on, I do just feel like I talked about this the other day. I was just a random conversation, and we like, all right, boom. They put you in a room. They say, yeah, let me, mom, and I'm gonna give you 20 million. And you a dude, but you never did that before, right? So, I'm having this conversation with Mel. They like, nah. I'm like, if a male if a male I'm gonna say it like this: if a male put a woman in a room and he say, "Let me for 20 million," I feel like it's more easier than than if the male do the male or whatever. And you never did that before, and I brought it up. I was like, okay, so do you guys think? I just raised the question in that space I was in. Do you guys think that like all the famous people in the industry, as far as like the music industry and maybe even the acting industry or whatever, do you think all the males made that deal? Like, is that the only, or what's going on in this room? Is that the only thing that happens for you to get on? I don't think that. I don't think that that's the only way to get on. But I do feel like people use that space where they keep talking about, because this came up not only in Diddy, but in other spaces. And I'm
I
like,
don't think that
they
that's the
used to
only
think,
way to get on.
no, I
I
don't think
just
it's the
feel
only way to
like
get on either.
some people are just so desperate to be rich and famous that they're willing to allow certain things to happen to them in order to get the fame that they want to have.
And I'll take it a step further. I don't even think people get rich; they just get famous. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
they want
you,
fame.
yeah. And no riches come from it. You know, like I now that $20 million question, I'm gonna tell you what I tell everybody: all money ain't good money, and that
At
ain't
all.
nowhere near no good money. You know what I mean? To violate my sanctity. You know, so and I wouldn't even want to put a woman in that position. You know what I mean? Like as a man, I wouldn't want to put you in that position to have to go do something that you're number one, you're not willing to do, and you know, I'm putting you in a position where like I'm almost like, damn, choose like be with me or go be with this man for 20 million for us. Like I wouldn't.
Oh, so like you and the person is in a relationship, and she come home and like, yo, he trying to give me 20 million if I mom.
Like I wouldn't even want to put you in that position. You know, but I think that sometimes things are over sensationalized, and we're in this social media is like a new digital tabloid. You know what I mean? Everything is clickbait. You know,
did everybody see the fake court document?
Nah, I didn't see that.
The guy that's suing him, because it's supposed to be like all this stuff that he's suing for.
Yes, there's a fake court document that's going around that's supposed to be like the court document with outlining the guy's whole like lawsuit or whatever.
Yeah.
First of all, you have to have a brain capacity the size of a pea to think that a court document, a legitimate legal court document, would one be written in blue and red type, two, have trigger warning on it, and three, have colored pictures that were taken off the internet inside of it. Like, we can't be this fucking stupid. Excuse my French. Yeah. We cannot be this stupid to believe that that's real. So one, sure. I just want to.
Sure we are.
I know we are. And I hate it. I don't want us to be. We have to stop being so stupid, should I say, to believe that that's true. However, some of the things that are stated in it may have some legitimacy. I don't know. I wasn't there. My only, not even issue, my only sentiment on the matter is this. I don't like the idea that somebody propositions you and you take them up on their offer and then you feel victimized. That's my only sentiment, because I feel as though we all have one thing that's the same, and that's free will. We all have free will. God gave us free will. We can say yes, we can say no, we can agree, we can disagree, we can engage, we cannot. Now, is the person probably off kilter for even propositioning you with such things? Yes, they probably are. However, they're probably just a sick, weird, twisted individual, right? To even come to you with that type of deal. But you don't have to say yes. You don't have to say yes. There are certain people just feel like there's one avenue to get to what they think is success. And when you realize that success is not one thing, you might probably make a better decision for your life and for your integrity to not engage in certain behaviors simply for the purposes of trying to get on.
So, and
hold on real quick. I'm gonna wrap it up.
Okay.
But on the flip side, you have free will. And if you do so choose to engage in those behaviors, that is fine and well also, because you have free will to choose that. But you do not get to double back after a reflective period, and then the moral weight starts to set in, and you kind of like, I can't believe I did that. You do not get to come back and then be a victim to your own free will, your own decision making. And I'll drop my.
So I think one thing that is happening is these aren't criminal cases; these are civil cases. So we got to see the intent of the person.
So for money, right? We talked about it last time.
Yeah. So
made that clear for me last time.
It's all about the Benjamins.
So it's all about the money.
Isn't that Diddy song? It's all about the Benjamins.
It's all about the Benjamins.
Didn't that come around full circle?
So
Bad Boy Entertainment, like, I like their music, but now I understand what was going on with Mace. Go ahead, like, I'm sorry.
So I think that, in this instance, you don't have to prove any criminal charges. You just have to convince an audience of our peers, and I put that in quotation, our peers, that there was malicious intent or something, and I'm not a lawyer and I might be saying it all wrong, but you definitely have to convince the jury of what you're saying happened. You know what I mean? And I believe so. Let's take Diddy for example. Diddy was being sued by Cassidy, and she not only sued him, but she sued the companies. So when she sued the companies, that triggered the companies to make Diddy settle. Because the companies didn't want to go through, and they had the ability and the finances to take that on. But what it did is open the floodgates to Diddy to be susceptible to all these lawsuits. Because if one was right, then everybody is right. Or if they pleaded, if they settled on an amount with her, people who might have been close to Diddy or have an ill will towards him or whatever, or
Just looking for a come up.
yeah, looking for a come up, they can sue. Because this the craziest thing I seen. Well, not even the crazy. Yeah, it is crazy. Craziest thing I seen the other day was they had this poster um and it was saying two people, man and woman. If the man is drunk and the woman is drunk, and the man has sex with the woman, and she doesn't, because she doesn't
She
have the
can't
ability to
consent
consent
because she's drunk. So
because
he raped her.
he raped her.
I saw it.
She didn't rape him.
He raped her because she couldn't consent.
Yeah,
But he couldn't either. So isn't that shouldn't that be like a draw?
yeah, like that should be thrown out. But because this is where it gets kind of tricky, because we're putting this soft shell on a woman, like, oh, she was unable to fight back. But I personally think that if you want me sauce, I don't want it. You know what I mean? Like, I'll wait till you sober up, and then you decide if you still want to do what you wanted to do while you was drunk. You know what I mean? But if you don't, that's fine. I won't waste my time because I don't want to position myself like that. And there's been times where I've been in positions, a woman was coming up to me, you know, above and beyond because she was inebriated. But I think that you're sometimes you're in a no-win situation because all the facts add up except for what happened if you guys are behind closed door. And now it becomes a story of who can compel the jury or who can compel the audience, or social media of what really happened.
I'm finna say Diddy. I'm finna say I was at a Diddy party.
And listen,
at this point,
half the to me half the battle was confirming that you was there.
Right, that's it. Once they confirmed that I was there, it was ball game. Everything else that I say after that, it could have happened. Even if it didn't, it could have happened.
Allegedly, it's just like, when I hear these stories and I'm like, and I'm broke, in comparison, I'm broke, and I'm just thinking about, like, well, what about, like, when it was the Greek picnic? What about when it was weekends in Miami?
Spring break in Cancun.
Yeah, spring break in Cancun.
Carnival.
All
There's
these,
hedonism.
hedonism. Yeah, all these things that
I
went
never
on.
heard of that one. What's that?
People,
Freaknik? Or that's something different?
Freaknik is Atlanta. The Greek picnic is Philly and everything.
Heathens. I never heard of that one.
Hedonism is Jamaican.
Oh, okay.
Only know about hedonism when I was a young boy.
What's the other one? What's the other one in Brazil?
Carnival. Carnival. So when you get into them Jones and you do something, or not even nothing that you did Well, let me say this: you put yourself in a position where it can be skewed or viewed differently. I ain't even gonna say that you did nothing crazy. I'm gonna just say that you did something that can be looked at differently.
Out of the ordinary.
Yeah, out of the ordinary. You know what I mean? And next thing you know, because you got a couple dollars, you done came up, you done made it to a more wider appeal. People come out of the woodworks. You know, took pictures with people.
For the love of money is the
Yeah,
root
of all
to all
evil.
evil.
You
People
know,
love money so much that they willing to do anything to get it, and it's sad.
see, yeah, because like when it came to Diddy and Cassidy,
Like mang mang mang.
she filed her case 3 weeks before they was about to change the law again.
Hmm.
So she did it right in time to execute her her situation.
I'm still sold on that was that husband. That was that husband that put her up to that. I know it
I was.
was.
That's funny you say that, Chef. Because right when you said that, I was thinking, well, who was in her ear? Because when you tell your stories, then people are like, yeah, girl, you might as well call Top Dog off.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
the attorney for all you
That's
non
exactly.
Jersey
That's
Philly
exactly
people.
it. I feel like that was it. I feel like that was the case.
I'm
But
sorry.
so, all
Okay.
right. So we going to sum this thing up with this. I'm gonna ask y'all. Do y'all think that he did all the things that they're saying that he did? Yes or no?
Yes. For the simple fact, I'm gonna say why I say yes. I think that it's funny because I just on a conversation with somebody, girls, and they were telling me that they had went to this, and this is not the first time I had this conversation. They had went to this like hole in the wall sex show, all right, and you could go. They're right there in Philly. Like I don't, they might be here in Jersey, but I don't know. But the ones they tell me about is in Philly. You could go. They can do all types of freaky beaky shit. That's what I'm gonna call it, freaky beaky. They could. I don't even want to put it out here, but like things that you could think of, like putting your genital in a hole in the wall. They do that. Just, just weird, just
They call
weird.
that
Just
they
freaky
call that a
deaky stuff.
glory hole.
Yeah, like just freaky deaky stuff. And so when I know that there's a space for freaky deaky people, it tells me that people are into this. They are. They're very much so into it. But I think the problem lies in force. I don't think you should force anybody because once you do a force, then that is called violation. Like that's called molestation or rape or what I mean, it then becomes a crime. But if how Shelly started it off, like if you agreed to it, if you know what's going on, if you stayed for the party, if you ain't get out like Mace, you ain't because what happened with Mace? Nobody is talking about that.
So,
What
so
what?
Mace was more of a financial thing, and he found God, so he probably was around all of it.
He was like, nah, but man, I'm out.
Yeah. So back to my quote: "All money ain't good money." So I think that was too much perversion for him as he found God. That was too much perversion. But I think that also, you know, I'll say this. I'll say no. I don't believe all of it was um, him, but I do believe there's some coercion, meaning that or quid pro quo, as we say in corporate. Basically, you do this for me, I'll do something for you. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I might put you in the studio with a banging producer, or you know, I'll give you free studio time, or I'll do this. You know what I mean? Or you know, you could post that you met me on social media. You know what I mean? And people will be none the wiser. You know what I
Bro.
mean? But I think that things happen when you know we do our own investigation. Is somebody make a compelling story, and next thing you know, we lock on to it. But I think there's the ability to coerce people. Like when I was, and then sometimes like you're naive, but you keep running with it until you mature, and that's not the thing. So when I was 19, I was a manager at a company, and I did the interviews and everything. And I would have women who I was interviewing and everything that would, you know, because they were on hard times, really wanted a job. And sometimes they tried to offer me benefits to help them seal the deal for the job. Now you could have probably had the job without the offering me anything. Now here I am. I'm a man, you're a woman, we're in my office. You're offering me something, and I'm like, I'm looking around like, damn, the door is closed. She could say anything just happened in here. So I'm 19, I'm 19. We still in the 90s. So it wasn't like, internet was popping, but it wasn't popping like it is, in the 2000s or whatever. So it wasn't no cameras on the computers or, none of that type of time. So anything that's going on is just her word versus mine. So if I would have said on the spot, you ain't getting the job, she could have said, oh, he tried to, take advantage of me. He told me if I didn't do this, he wasn't going to give me the job. Now she up. And we all learned from Charleston White that he intentionally took certain jobs to be able to sue to get money.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh, yeah.
so when I look back in retrospect, it's all about how you position yourself. As I got older and I was still doing interviews for other companies and stuff, being in, different positions and stuff, now I'm leaving the door open. Now I'm in I'm leaving the blinds open as well, so people can walk by and clearly see what's going on. Because I don't want anybody to assume that just because they're propositioning me, that I'm propositioning them. So when you don't get this job, it's based on the skill set, not based on something that you believe to have happened or what's going on.
Those tactics are good, but people can. You know what I think the real problem is? Why is it so hard for people to believe that people lie? Mm-hmm. And I think that's the thing. People will be like, well, why would they lie? Why would they lie about something like that? Same thing, to refer back to Cat Williams again. I don't know why a liar lies. They just lie. And I think if people start to just really come back to reality, everybody can probably sit up here and think about a time that they literally was lied on, like literally lied on. And if you be like, yo, I remember a time that somebody literally lied on me and said that I did something that I did not do, said that something happened that never happened, it will make you start to understand that people lie. People be lying for a multitude of reasons. And also, I think another issue is that liars don't get the punishment that they deserve.
Oh, you know how they talk about
issue.
You know how they talk about make the apology as loud as the betrayal and the criticism, but the apologies is always quiet, and the lies is always loud. But I'll say this: I think part of it is that we have an innate ability to be all mentally steered when it comes to man versus woman. Mm-hmm. We want women to be independent, but when it comes to issues like this, the woman is always the victim, no matter what. You know what I mean?
I think more women need to speak up about how women are not always the victim. Like I always call myself, especially when I'm doing my social media, I'll call myself, I'm an advocate for these niggas. Me being a woman, I am an advocate for these niggas simply because nobody else will speak up and tell the truth about a lot of the things that women do to men and get away with. But I'm gonna
it's,
tell the truth because bitches be lying. Because I was a lying bitch before. But I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that, remember how we talked about this reflective? A lot of people, when they reflect back on some of the things that they did, they're so ashamed and embarrassed by it that they would rather make it be somebody else's fault than to simply say, I was wrong.
Did Tory Lanez do it? That came on the radio the other day. Did Tory Lanez do it because somebody put up free Tory Lanez, and somebody got on there and said Tory Lanez didn't do it based on the evidence that was given to me. She think that the girlfriend Chelsea did it, and that Meg is covering up for her. And they said, why would she lie? And the girl said because she's too embarrassed and far in to change the lie up. And that's what made me. I just thought about that. I was like, that's crazy.
And it leads to the point that I was saying that women are always the victim. You know, she was helpless. She was a woman. He was a man. He was the aggressor. She's softer. You know what I mean? That it couldn't be possible that we can't take the scenario in place that the girl did it. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't resonate with the mass majority because we've been washed that way mentally.
But it really does.
And
this is why I say it really does resonate, because majority of the women who jump to the immediate conclusion that the woman is the victim has been a woman who has not been a victim. Does that make sense? Like, so I can't say, excuse me, that was nasty. I can't say that it's because, I think it's just simply because women need to come to some sort of reckoning within themselves about a lot of the fucked up things that they do.
Listen,
because there's no way that I can, as a woman who has been lied on and has also told a lie myself in my life, I'm not about to sit up here and say, why would anybody lie? Because for a multitude of reasons. What the fuck do you mean, why would anybody lie? That's just like saying, why would somebody steal? Maybe they were stealing because they was hungry. Maybe they were stealing because they didn't give a fuck and they wanted to take something that didn't belong to them. It's a multitude of reasons why do things. But let's not sit up here and make it seem like that these things are like not being done, because like that's a lie.
They being done, but I also believe that, like, you know, like I said, we got this, you know, we want to empower the women, but we don't even want to empower women so far. So, you know, we rationalize certain things and be like, oh, no, that can't be possible. We put them in this space, but then we also put men in this space. You know, they're supposed to be protectors and this and that. And it makes them savages because, you know, they're known to be more aggressive, you know, but, you know, and it confuses us as a people because we lead with the emotion of it all before we get the facts of it all. So it's, you know, it's like, nah, they guilty for not.
I think it only confuses you if you're a person who's not real with yourself.
But
I got something.
I think that it only confuses you if you're a person who don't keep shit real with yourself. Because I'm a person that keeps shit real with myself. It don't confuse me because I can understand how it could happen.
But have you ever?
That we take the opposite side, but I think the only way you would be confused is if you're a person who's still lying to yourself about the shit that you've done. That's the only way you're confused.
I think when if you like, I'm only now I'm talking not in the sense of like day-to-day life. I'm talking about more like celebrity is in everything. But in the case of everyday life,
these are regular people though. And that's another thing I need people to understand.
We are being washed mentally about what goes on. You know what I mean? Like, or how we supposed to portray things. You know, soft and hard.
I think it's like this life. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I feel like it goes right where y'all at. And I think because you're talking about celebrities and versus you know, whatever you want to call extraordinaries or whatever. So I was sitting here thinking that when we have these conversations, I do feel like women or men have to go into a category of meaning I'll do it like this. A low vibrational person versus a high vibrational person, where you could put a male or a female in either or. Those are two different beings. So when we speak, we're speaking in many ways, but some of the stuff applies over here, some applies over here, and you could reach a space, but you can't reach it until you did all your real work or whatever, however it goes. But you're in different spaces, and I think that's where we get confused. Like, oh, comparing myself to, like, I'm not going to compare myself to Beyonce. I'm not Beyonce. I don't do shows. I'm not on a tour. Like, I'm on my own tour at school when I go when when I go clock in. That's my tour. You know what I mean? So it's different. And so while
I think just as much as you can't compare yourself to Beyonce, you can compare yourself to Beyonce. You can't compare yourself to Beyonce in a realm of doing shows and being on tour because you're not a performer. However, you can compare yourself to Beyonce in a realms of being a woman. If you had children, being a mother, being a sister, being a daughter, being an employee, you get what I'm saying? So I think people just automatically go to the things that, oh, I can't, it's Beyonce. I can't compare myself to Beyonce. Why can't you? You a woman just like she a woman.
Gotcha.
You a sister just like she a sister. But everybody just equates it to the celebrity of it all. And I get it. They are celebrities. But a celebrity does not make you not human. You are still human. You still shit out the same hoes as every other person. I mean, hopefully they still do after all the surgeries and stuff. But you know what I'm saying? You still eat the same, you still sleep the same, you still use the bathroom the same exact way. So that's what I mean when I say it's like people get so far removed from the celebrity when you just a regular person like me. Meg Thee Stallion is not exempt from being a lying ass bitch just because she's on TV. How many lying ass bitches do we know in regular life? Just because you have money does not automatically make you truth. Being a woman does not equate to truth, and being a male does not equate to lie. Being rich does not equate to truth. You don't know how many times I have conversations with people who just automatically assume, oh, she got to be telling the truth because she Meg Thee Stallion, and why would she lie? Maybe because she's maybe instead of you saying, oh, I can't, she Megan Thee Stallion, look at her like maybe she's a butthurt woman who got her fucking feelings hurt. Everybody knows the famous saying, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Celebrities get scorned too, because she a woman. At the end of the day, she's a woman before she's a celebrity. Like people just gotta stop idolizing celebrities, then I feel like it would be people's minds would be a little bit different, operate a little bit different, and could see them in a more human light, because bitches be like, men lie anyway. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. That's a tell as old as time. Everybody know that. So I don't know why in 2023, 2024, we just think that, oh, men are just innate liars. Like if you a man, you just born a liar. And if you a woman, you just so pure and holy. Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. Like
yeah, like and forgive me. You don't want nobody to know your business. Like for instance, like when I just give it like this, going to the doctor, they be like, do you drink, do you smoke recreationally? No, because I don't want to in my business.
Exactly.
That's a lie. Did she just lie? Yes, I did. Get out my face.
Bitch, I lie every day. Look, how many people you had sex with? 3?
Yeah, 2. Like, leave me alone. I don't want you in my business.
Just be lying. But it's because, again, people lie for a multitude of reasons. But people lie, and women lie a lot. For real, for real.
Listen, I believe that the intention, the original intention is not to hurt anyone's feelings. You know, with the, you know, I hate to put the colorism on it, but the little white lie. You know what I mean? But ain't no such thing as a little white lie.
That just goes to show that white people is liars from the beginning, but go ahead. Yeah.
You can tell a little white lie, just don't tell a big black lie.
You know what I mean? So I think that some people have intentions not to hurt people's feelings when they do it, you know, and then some people have all the intentions to hurt people's feelings when they do it. And, you know, emotion plays a part. Like, I don't know if I said it on here the last time we was on here, but you know, when they say, you know, men aren't emotional, anger is an emotion. You know what I mean? So you know, women might be upset and it might look different, but we're both showing some type of emotion. If I'm angry, I'm emotional. You know, if you're yelling and crying and doing whatever as a woman, you know, you're emotional. But, you know, anger doesn't seem to be pronounced as an emotion that should be talked about. But I think that you know I remember being a young boy, and because I was hanging out with older guys, I had to lie. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you ain't have sex yet? Yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? And I was like 11, 12. You know what I
Look,
mean?
and then you telling that lie, depending on how much you was pressed, you might too even had to go as far as lying on somebody's name.
And I did. I ain't even, boy,
And stuff like this happens because
listen,
it happened to me, and this how I know that people really can just lie because somebody literally lied on my name. Like,
and I
but
would.
I literally made up a lie, like, too. Look, do you drink or smoke? No, it ain't none of your business. I ain't gonna tell y'all the lie that I said. But I like literally told a lie. Like, I
Yeah.
did.
And
It's like, so it's like I understand that the same way people lied on me, I have lied before. So it's just like, let's not make it seem like why would somebody lie? Or like people don't, oh, why would they lie? Who fucking knows why they lied? The fact of the matter is that it's a lie. Like,
yeah,
why the person lie is irrelevant to the fact of whether it's a lie or not.
we all got our reasons, and most of the time,
this is so good because, like, just talking about lies and just talking about normalcy and just being a human before you are anything else, like,
Yes.
and just this is life. We all going through, like, you have a up, you have a down. Like,
so
some days I'm down, sometimes I'm up, whatever. Like, it is what it is.
Question: do you like? We kind of put lies in boxes. We don't consider them to be lies because if a lie is beneficial to you or the other person, it's not a lie. Or do you think like hiding something from somebody for a birthday party? Like they ask you, "Hey, where you going?" and you going to go plan the party, or you going to go do X, Y, and Z. Do you consider that to be a lie?
Or protecting their feelings because they ain't gonna understand. Or sometimes people lie or refrain from telling all just to because you know somebody so much. Or like maybe you have different groups or different people you be around, and one person is like, and it's like, I don't really agree with what you're saying. I love you. I love this person over here. I'm gonna go help them plan their party. And they say, well,
like
what you doing
today? Is a lie, no matter which way you slice it. But I think it's the intention behind the lie is what's important. But that's why I say people need to stop pretending that lying isn't just as fucking normal as telling the truth. It's lying is actually the duality of the truth.
I was gonna say duality.
The truth cannot exist without a lie, and vice versa. Because if there was never a lie, then how would we ever know what being true was if a lie didn't counteract it? But I feel like to your question, life, I feel like regardless to what the lie is, it's a lie. Now, the intention behind the lie matters to determine if the severity of the punishment of the liar. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're lying because you want to protect somebody's feelings, or if you're lying out of intention, oh, I don't want to ruin the surprise, so in order to be able to surprise them, I have to tell a lie, then you told the lie for that reason. Regardless to the fact, you lied. But you told the lie for this reason, so the person who you lied to may be more willing to accept the fact that you lied to them because you lied for that particular reason of trying to surprise them. Now, you have people who are mad because somebody don't want them anymore, so they make up a lie to try to hurt them. It's also a lie. But the lie that you're doing is gross and disgusting because you would make up a lie to intentionally hurt somebody just because you can't handle your own feelings. That's weird.
So, all right, second question. And I think
that's a lie that needs to be punished.
Do you think that when you lie to do something good, do you think it weakens the trust because the person believed them and it was so convincing? Like, just imagine, like, your significant other is telling you, hey, I'm going to work, but really they going to go decorate and plan this party for you. And the whole time you believe in that work. But then the next thing you know, they're at a party. They have this party for you. So does it, in some people's mind, does it creep into the back of their head like, damn, they're I believed them at every turn, but they were out instead of being at work, they were off doing this. Or is that something?
I just think
It wouldn't bother me. I mean, I wouldn't. It wouldn't make me trust them less because they lied to me. Because again, it's the intention behind
to treat me.
It's the intention behind why they lied. They didn't lie maliciously to try to hurt me. Like
So-
the lie wasn't anything. It wasn't negative. It wasn't a negative.
Yeah, the lie was
situation.
I love it.
So it doesn't. At the end of the day, because I feel like for you to feel that way, it's almost because I was lied to. Baby, first of all, we lie to ourselves half of the time.
America teaches, excuse me, y'all. America teaches us to lie. Why? Because why would you put somebody on an interview and ask them 1,000 questions that they probably never even experienced, and then just let them express themselves of how you would handle it, or what did you do here, or not? Because I can do the job, but you want me to be something I'm not. So I just lied to you.
Listen,
and now I got the job. And
America,
I really do the job. So
America
you know,
was built.
that's just I just
America
like
was built on a lie. So why do we? Okay, what you saying there? America legitimately was built on a lie. So why do we believe that lying is something that's so incapable of the people who are from this country? All we do is lie. Everything we do is a lie. A lot of most of the shit that we do is a lie, bro.
Getting your ticket.
You gotta start being okay with
getting pulled over for no license. Then you go to court and they say, I'm gonna drop it to just not having your license on you, even though my license was suspended. That was a lie. Like, America is a lie.
So you willing to lie for me to lie? Like, it's just so again.
And
so
let's on the Bible. You swear to tell the truth and not, but yeah, I just didn't have it that day, you know.
And I lied. but at the same time, let you be on trial and you lied, then they want to lock you up for perjury. But then y'all just perjure.
Facts.
See,
this is why I say I take everything with a grain of salt. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. So I don't believe shit that ain't proven to me.
So, and this is where I go back to the whole Diddy situation. Sometimes it's a coercion. They didn't tell you to lie, but they just told you to agree with what was being said or done. So if they say to you, you know, maybe in Diddy's case, he says, I can offer you studio time if.
Yeah, but you can also say, oh, no, thank you. I don't want to take you up on that offer.
But the same thing with when you go to court, you know, so what you're telling me is that you didn't have your license on you, which is technically a truth, but it's not the whole truth. Why? You know why I ain't got it on? Because I don't need it, because the shit's suspended. You know what I mean? Like, but they walk you into it because it's less money to be made if you don't got a license. You know what I mean? They can't get no registration. They can't get you to renew your license. You know, we all got a financial. We got a benefit. They got a benefit from you, so it's less money if you don't have a license. So we want to benefit from you.
Got the whole thing out.
What?
Got the whole thing.
You can keep the frame. Just put
So I got a few stories based on what we were talking about. One story where I had picked up a third side job because I was working on this project and I was trying to bring it home. And I remember very specifically that the guy was just like really taken aback by my beauty. Like, for him, he just was like, you're a really pretty girl. And he smiled at me. He said some remark. I don't know, like whatever. It's okay. But what I'm trying to say is he hired me for my beauty. Like, so I feel like that happens as a woman. And also I've been in a space, I'm out at a partying. And this was years back. I was younger than I am today. And they hired the party goer hired a masseuse. Excuse me. And all the girls was coming out like, ooh, it's banging. You gonna love it. Da-da-da. I'm like, okay, whatever. You know me, being a little bit naive before really knowing what's going on. I'm getting the massage. When I'm in there, he like positioned down here, and he like, you want me to? I was like, oh hell no. I was like, no. I was like, oh hell no. Automatically thinking like, so you in here doing this to all the girls that's coming out saying mean, ooh, but maybe, I don't know, I never asked them, but you try to do it to me, so I'm thinking like, that's what you was in there offering. So I'm bringing that up to say, you can get offered, and you can say no, and you could get praise for your beauty, and you can say yes.
You can say yeah or no in any situation, but just know ultimately whatever choice you make is on you at the end of the day, not the person who offered it to you. It's on you because you're the one who ultimately made the decision to go with it or to not go with it. So just don't come back around and talk about, oh, I can't believe he will offer me to do this and give me this. Well, bitch, why is you so desperate to want to have it that you would do it? And again, if you are, that's fine too. But just say a more reasonable thing to do is just say, you know what? You know, even if you're down on your luck in hard times, just know that you'll be provided another way. You don't have to take whatever crumbs is being thrown your way simply because you down and out. Yeah, people are going to prey on the vulnerable. I believe that. But at the end of the day, you can be down and out, but you can't be so low that you're willing to just take anything that comes your way. But there are times that you are in a situation that you do. But that's a life lesson. That's not a situation for you to then in turn victimize somebody else for a piss poor decision that you made for whatever the reason was that you made it. You made it regardless.
That's amazing, show. You use the word provider. And we talk about God or spirituality or faith, sometimes on here, sometimes outside of here. And in the book, one of the books that I'm reading this year, Artist Way, one of the things is like recovering your sense of abundance. And in that chapter, it talks heavily about how God is the ultimate provider. So when you said that you don't have to take those crumbs because another avenue will open up for you. And sometimes I feel like this. I feel like sometimes God is testing you to see if you really want what you say you want, or is you just going to take this crumb, or you going to take the deal with the devil. I'm not saying that's what everybody did, but I am saying that sometimes you have to use discernment to realize who's your all-in-one provider, and how that looks for you. All money and good money. That's what life said. You know what I mean? And so if you are down and out, which, if you come from impoverished neighborhoods, 9 times out of 10, you probably is down and out. Like, I ain't gonna hold you or whatever. So, you know what I mean? You may be like, yeah, I try to figure out how I get this money by tomorrow. Like, you do get like that at times. But one thing I want to share, like this a live experience, is when I was reading that chapter, and you guys probably don't know, but I was having some issues with my health. And it was like my health versus my money, right? And if you do know me, you'll probably know that, like, I'll get to the back. I don't give a fuck. I could be bleeding off, these fingers could be cut off, and I'm getting to the back. And after reading that chapter and learning more and just really being like, all right, just falling more into my faith or whatever, I decided to not work that day. This is not the day that I had to call out for my health. This is another day where I just was like, I'm not even gonna make the money. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna drink my water. I'm gonna take my time and do all the stuff that's really gonna provide me wealth if I'm more healthier. And the very next day, I made the easiest $130. I mean, it dropped like this. And I was like, oh my God, it's not that I never had that experience before, because I did, but having it again and again and again is like, oh shit, like, excuse my language, but God is providing. I don't have to kill myself. I don't have to give my butthole, whatever, like, whatever. Like,
unless and my thing is, and unless you want to, and if you want to, that is okay. Nobody's judging anybody for any of the choices that they make. Nobody is judging you at the end of the day. Only you can judge yourself. So you need to judge yourself and say, how am I going to feel if I do this after this, if I do it, or how am I going to feel after it if I don't? And you ultimately make the decision. But my whole thing is that you got to stand on business of the decision that you ultimately made. You cannot then turn around because now you feel like a piece of crap about some of the things that you did in your life You can't come and make it be somebody else's fault. It doesn't work like that. You knew the deal was dirty when you took it, to quote one of my friends. You knew the deal was dirty before you took it. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, I agree. So did he do it? Shells?
I mean, is he a little freakazoid weirdo? I'm sure.
That's
Anybody with that much power and access probably is.
Yeah, I was thinking a little freaky deaky now.
Yeah. However, that's why Cat Williams, just zero in on what Cat Williams said. He said you have to tell him no, implying that he's not forcing anybody to do anything. This is what he's into. He's offering it to you, but you gotta tell him no. And I'm pretty sure.
And just think, if you got the money to give away $5, give away 50,000, like $5.
Listen.
I mean, yeah. 50,000 to change some people's lives.
People do a lot. People do stranger things for less.
Listen, in the hood, people got such an immaturity. Not even just the hood, just people in general got such a level of immaturity that $500 they'll kill somebody.
Oh yeah, I watched the episode on TV where he killed somebody for 500.
So if you could kill somebody for $500, why wouldn't I think you would have sex with somebody for 500?
Exactly. But those are people who love money.
I was thinking though, and it don't matter. You could make 30,000 a year, 60,000 a year, or 85,000 a year, or 100,000 a year, right? If you make $100,000 a year for 10 years, even if you don't have it no more, then you cross $1 million.
Yeah,
that's how I've been thinking about. Like, I may not have $1 million, but I crossed a couple dots. Because if you add it all, if you add it all up, ain't that crossing money? Like, what I mean? Even though it is a goal to have it, all at once and access to things like that. But I thought about it like that to just change my mind frame on money. Like, I got money. Like, I had money. I spent my money. And so this one is on. Like, this is my money. Like, I think about it like that now. Like, I have money just because it's not always in paper form. Or like, even if I don't have it right now, but like, I've been working since I was 16. So how much money? Matter of fact, since I was 15. So how much money did I really cross?
Yeah,
I thought about that too.
I think because the way we look at money and the way we equate it, what I mean? Like, it's everything switches, like it's like, you can make $30,000 a year, but if you only got $10,000 worth of bills, you plus 20,000, and you can make
you stuck.
Yeah, but you can make 100,000 and you owe $110,000, so you in the whole 10 grand.
That's right. That's a good way.
It ain't about how much money you make; it's about how much money you keep.
Yeah.
I thought about that too. Like, if you buying all these houses and cars and shit, like, all your money go to those bills every month. So like, you don't have, you kind of like, we're kind of like in the same space, if that make any kind of sense. Like, your dinner might cost $800, while mine might cost $800. But at the end of the day, you just drop $800 off of your bracket. It's kind of the same.
You can leave it up against the side if you want.
Yeah, I think when we look at financial well-being, we think the bigger the number, the more well-off a person is. But we see plenty of people, when we talk celebrities who had all the money that weren't broke.
Right.
That weren't broke, or wasn't financially equipped to handle that type of money, and it landed them in a hardship. Because like, I watched them TV shows like Uncensored or things of that nature. Like, look at people who we think was financially equipped, but they wind up being homeless, or they wind up killing themselves because they couldn't go back and do a 9 to 5 because they once had money. So it was like, how will people view them to be working a regular day job. You know, like how crazy is that to see somebody that you believe had money, or you could Google now that their financial net worth was once millions of dollars, and now here they are working at a McDonald's, or some people can't make that make sense to them that they're having to live this life just to live a comfortable life again, and they would rather be homeless or they would rather kill themselves, and we gotta take so much pressure off of what we believe to be wealthy, in terms of finances.
That was
This
good.
is why you can't. This is why you can't tie. Just to tie it all back into where we started from. This is why you can't tie your innate value to anything outside of yourself, like money or hair, because the moment that you don't have it, you feel less than, you feel inadequate, and you don't know how to deal if you don't have it. I am who I am, whether I have a lot of money or whether I have a little bit of money. 50 Cent says some people just know how to live better than others. Some people just know how to live better than others. I am okay at whatever capacity because I know how to live. I know what's valuable. I know how to provide comfort to myself, whether I have $1 million or whether I'm on food stamps and welfare. Like it doesn't matter because my innate value is who I am on the inside and the outside. I will always reflect the value that I have for myself, regardless of what the financial aspect is. Now, I'm gonna look a little sharper with a little bit more money. I'm gonna have some better pieces. My pieces gonna be hitting a little different with more money. That's regular. However, I'm gonna hit regardless, whether if my outfit came from Bergdorf's or if it came from red, white, and blue thrift store.
Yeah.
It's gonna hit regardless. You wanna know why? Cause I got it on.
Yeah, or like hand me downs. Like people give me stuff all the time. Like my sisters, they be like, sis, I can't even feel you want it. Next thing you know, I'm looking banging and something they didn't bought. Like I'm like, yes. They're like, look, they be like, you look cute. I'm like, you remember you gave me this?
And
it's
I
just
also,
like, go ahead.
no, go ahead, Chef.
Go ahead.
I think it's financial well being. Like people always try to make it seem like everything was so far ago or so long ago, but you think about it. Jim Crow was like 60 years ago. Financial, like we weren't getting bank loans. We're still getting smacked with bank loans. You know what I mean? Like they just had a whole lawsuit against Bank of America for what they was doing to the housing market. You know what I mean? So every time we, as black people, every time we think we got a chance or an opportunity, we go find something pops out that we thought we was up, but we was stuck. You know what I mean? And like my first house was through Bank of America. Like, the people that they wasn't approving, I was one of the people that made it through. But I think that, we also didn't learn financial literacy. We put an emphasis on education, but we didn't put an emphasis on financial literacy, because now the kids who got educated got $150,000, $200,000 worth of debt that might have been, they might have got rid of thanks to Joe Biden, but some of them still don't got their debt, relieved,
Me.
And people done went back to school and got doctorates and still can't make the money to equate to what they owe. Or they don't even tell you, like, yeah, you got a $20,000 loan, but you ain't paying on it for 4 years at an interest rate of this. So by the time it's the first year it was 20,000. It started at 20,000, but the first year interest rate is like 5%. So now it's 30,000. Now the second year the interest rate 15%. Now it's not 30,000, it's 45,000. And they keep ballooning to the point where you're like, damn, it was only $20,000, but the rate was so crazy that you done jumped up to 60, 70,000 on 20,000 when you could have gave me a loan for that and I could have started my own business.
Life just keep talking numbers to us, and not my eyes like this.
Let's just say this: the money don't make sense. You know what I mean?
It don't.
The math ain't mathing.
Yeah.
The math ain't math. That's a good one. And I just like that you brought up Jim Crow and how close it actually is in today's world where we are in 2024, and how the things that we need to be being taught at a young age. Because I also don't think that people look at things as wholes, and they don't believe that. And there's a thing called healing and understanding and learning. However, but things that happen over here is why it's happening over here.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you are in an uneducated space, everybody in your space is frivolous, undisciplined, don't really have much, don't give a fuck, whatever. That is being instilled in you. Now you always have a choice. You can either do what you see or you can do the opposite of what you see. I'm somebody who do the opposite of what I see, but I'm also somebody who is dealing with things that I did see. Like, oh shit, I'm doing that because of this, and now I gotta be mindful and open my eyes to that idea. And I'm just saying, like, we have to stop making it seem like when we have these children, and just stop acting like we don't have to guide them and train them up, and just throwing them into the wolves and just go ahead, giving them money and just giving them DoorDash money. I feel like you should earn DoorDash money. I just feel like there's lessons that should be taught with social media, DoorDash, instant gratification, just things that we have now. I feel like they just need to be in a space where you should be teaching children rewards, teaching what you have to do versus what you can do after you do what you got to do. Because it's a life, like it is a free life for you to be. A lot of times, speaking of women, we talked about women. Social media is encouraging women to be more soft, encouraging women to just be lax and let life happen to them. Yeah. And I like that idea, but I also don't think that life just comes to you without you having some type of planning, putting yourself in the space for it. Like, you know what I mean? So I just feel like there's things that aren't being taught with due process. And so, yeah, I do think that's just like a disconnect right there.
So I think that one negative thing I think about social media is women putting these unrealistic standards on men. You know, we had the issue last year where the girl didn't want to go to Cheesecake Factory with the guy on the first date. And then we got a list of restaurants that women don't want to go to. You know, and it's like I'm doing all this to possibly not even get to know you for a second date. Like, so when you talk about like, it's levels, you gotta earn this, like we're not starting at the top and working our way back down to the bottom. We starting at the bottom and working our way up. Like
the thing about that, real quick, it depends on where your bottom is.
Yeah. So,
depends on where your bottom is. So for the girl, and I'm not saying that this is the case for her, but we just gotta, for some people, the Cheesecake Factory might not be okay. If you grew up in Capital Grill and Eddie V's, and you get what I'm saying, so yeah, the Cheesecake Factory is probably not going to be okay. But that just means you're probably going to want to date somebody who is familiar with the Cheesecake Factory and Eddie V's.
So I think
levels, because people. I just want to say real quick, like I kind of touched on it a little bit, is recognizing who you are and where you are. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying don't go, because if you know me through and out, then I'm gonna get the finer things in life one way or another. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is, where are you? Because if wherever you are, you may not be in the realm where you are finding those kind of men who may provide that for you. So like, if you want to be Miss Nunu and come on down to Cascade and and you want to go somewhere else, then nobody told you to do that. If you already Miss Nunu, then stay over there with your crowd and get your crowd. And you know, young ladies who wants to evolve and elevate and explore more luxurious things. Shelly, share something that's really special, and I'm gonna bring it back up. Luxurious things happen right here in my address. I live in Camden. I'm already luxurious. All right, so if you want that, then start doing that, and you could take your and if you somebody who normally is used to Cheesecake Factory, but you want a guy to take you somewhere else, Eddie V's or whatever, then you know you can start by taking yourself. You can start by, you know, maybe going with some girlfriends, you know, so that you can learn the environment. Because just because social media told you something, you don't even know the environment. You don't even know what to like.
Becoming an Eddie V's looking goofy as hell with prom dresses on.
So I think that,
Like, go ahead.
you know, to put it in perspective, like we put these expectations on them that we can't carry out ourselves. I always say that you can tell me what you want, but show me what you got. So if you
What
can't,
you got, little mama?
if you tell me you want a Gucci bag, but you ain't got a Gucci bag that you bought yourself, I'm not buying you a Gucci bag. You know what I mean?
And that's
because
where so many men mess up at.
like you don't love yourself enough to get you a Gucci bag. So why I gotta love you more than you love yourself? You know what I mean? Because I might be able to afford it, and it's not that I don't want to spend it. And you know, this is just me being confident enough in myself to understand that I don't have to do that in order for you to like me, or I don't have to do that to want to get to know you. So, you know, if you can't do it for yourself first and foremost, why should I have to do it for you first?
Right,
Now,
like even your aura. I wanted to say it's an inside job. So like you gotta first and foremost, you gotta work on your aura, your inside, to even maybe I don't know. I'm just assuming like maybe you know with that more upgraded aura, he might just say, "Girl, I'm gonna buy you the bag." You don't even gotta ask for it because you just already behaved in a manner where it feels like you deserve a bag. If that makes any
You're
sense.
right. You're embodying a woman who looks like she should be carrying a Gucci bag. So I'm gonna put one on your
so
arm type of
now
deal.
Yeah.
if I'm inclined to do it, so be it. Because if I'm up here and you're down here, I want to pull you up here. But again, these are things that may come with time. Where sometimes time isn't necessarily a thing that gives you no constraints. So you could be with a person a week and decide that you really care for them and love them, and you want to do all these things for them, and then you could be the person a year, 2 years, 5 years, and decide you don't want to do shit for them. You know what I mean? But I think that when these expectations are put into place, show me what you got. You know what I mean? Like, because one, you're lying to yourself, and then two, you're trying to lie to me and say this is where I'm always at, and you don't know the difference between a dinner fork and a salad fork. You know what I mean? Or you can't set a table. Like, don't like, or you ain't got you eating off of, not saying there's anything wrong with eating off of paper plates, but you ain't got a set of matching dishes. You know what I mean?
Cause
Like
what Shelly said, I don't got time to keep fucking cleaning everything up.
At
yeah,
all.
which is, but it's understandable. But show me
But
why.
it's so funny. The same way, but meanwhile, back at the ranch, I have two different sets of china in my cabinet. So
Yeah. So
Right.
show me why. You know what I mean? You deserve it. Show me why I got to do all these things. Like,
I eat off of paper plates and I drink tea out of china. So what's up?
you know, like, because why did I have to already meet a standard that you not even at? You know what I mean? Like, why am I
Gotcha.
doing this as a man? Like in general, like
I
girl,
got
you
you.
sleeping on your friend's couch, but
Yo,
you want Eddie V's?
But I feel like
before
it
it
has
were
a
no
lot to do with
doors.
you as a man. You having standards because if you're a man at a certain type of caliber, don't pick nobody who isn't.
But they play on your manhood because if you're not, like I said earlier, if you're not confident in yourself, you can get trapped in that. You know what I mean? Like, I give you a prime example. All right, go to where was I? Vegas, Florida. One of them do a little timeshare tour. So the person who's giving the tour and everything, at the end timeshare tour, they sit down, they start talking numbers with you. So they crunch your numbers. The person that's sitting with you is, polite, mild mannered, not as aggressive. But when you start saying no to them all the times, they switch out. All right, bring in a more aggressive person. They brought this woman in. You know, she wasn't my cup of tea. You know what I mean? But clearly, I could see what she said and how she spilled it. I could see it working on other men. Had her chest out some. You know what I mean? Hair all long, smelt decent. You know what I mean? But again, not my cup of tea. So for me, I say she's all right. To other people, she probably was fine. But she's telling me, so what you saying? You don't have the money. You just can't afford it. Just talking greasy. You know what I mean? In my head, I'm like, I can afford this. I'm
That's
just
no
here.
way to sell.
But it works because you know man's emotion and everything, and next thing you know, you in something you can't get out of. I'm not signing this paper. Look, you don't even know. I just finessed y'all. It cost me $99 to get here, and I did the tour already to get $200. So I'm
Yeah, for the free, excuse me, for the free room that comes after that. Because the
yeah,
book also
but
said take your freebies because that's a door to abundance. So when I get a freebie, I sure enough do. Give me my shit.
yeah. So, but
And
I think the psyche is so crazy that they could put you in that position, and to be like you just can't afford it. So that's what you're saying. You're broke. Then they start ninjas and da da da, and now a bull out here trying to scrap and scrape to give you what you want, and he
the
ain't really
secret.
got it.
But I think what Amira was talking about the things having to be taught at a young age, that's those things. You cannot be
Yeah,
that easily moved by the opinion of someone else that you about to jeopardize your own security trying to impress somebody else who doesn't have any bearing on your life once you leave them.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't give a damn how broke you call me. I did one of the timeshare tours in Atlantic City, and I had them people so mad because you can't spin me. You can't spin me. I knew what my intention was when I walked in the door, and it wasn't nothing that you said that was going to knock me square. Bro, I'm not buying this. I'm only here for the free money in the free room. I already knew that
That
walking through the door. And it doesn't matter how tactical you are. This one nigga had me tight. He was mad because I was giving it to him. Like, sir, who do you think you're talking to? I don't like your attitude. You're not talking to me like that. So I'm like, oh, well, at this point, it's just a waste of time. Well, see you.
it's
See
not a waste
you.
of time because it's your offer, and I'm not about to go to war
Y'all,
with your offer.
I was walking down, minding my own business on the boardwalk. Y'all stopped me.
That
Y'all asked me to sign up. I ain't asked to come here. Oh, you shit. But it's that confidence and that sense of self that allowed me to walk out of there, like life said, being up.
yeah, I mean, you don't gotta take
How you
everything.
feeling, Amira? We 37 minutes past your end time.
I know. I just looked at it too. I was just going to say it's a good way to end, and I just wanted to say like, you don't have to take everything that's offered to you,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's the most simplest thing. And you have to have morals and values. And what are your morals and values? And if you don't know, your inside really do know. So that's when you take pen to paper and then you start asking yourself, what are my values? What are my morals? What is my upbringing that I don't want with me anymore? Like, you know what I mean? It's
Accepting things and turning things down are both a form of abundance. Because
right.
accepting something means that you're receiving things coming to you. However, turning things down means that you're so abundant in what you have that you have the capacity to say no thank you and still be okay. So people like you said, you don't have to accept any and everything. Look at rejection more as I'm abundant in the fact that I'm able to turn this down, that I don't have to take this.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
like
even if I was just gonna say, even if you feel like everything is adding up, like I owe my rent, I'm about to get evicted in 5 days, and then somebody offer you this deal or whatever, but it's a deal that goes against your core values. You end up, what's going to happen? I just feel like just through just seeing all the data reveal itself. What's going to happen is You're going to go against your core value. It's going to eat you up from the inside out. And you're going to wish for the rest of your days that you didn't do it. So, you know, you can make the choice or whatever. And sometimes you got to make choices that's going to, sometimes you say yes to something you wasn't supposed to say yes to so that you can say no the next time, because I've been there too. But, you know, you may feel like this is the opportunity. But it's probably not the opportunity if it makes you feel like, what you want me to do? Like, hell no. I'm not doing that. Like, whatever. Even if you can do it, I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I just think, we got to be more intentional about that.
We're going to end with these few pieces of information. First and foremost, love yourself, value yourself, because nobody's going to value you the way that you value yourself. You set your value, and everybody else has to follow that. So you value yourself, okay? First and foremost. Secondly, just because somebody offers you something does not mean that you have to take it. You do not have to take it. You can say no. If you go to a Diddy party, it's okay to tell him no. You can tell Diddy no. You don't gotta be scared to tell Diddy no just because he Diddy. You can tell Diddy no. You can tell anybody no. If it don't align with your morals and your values, and it goes against your integrity, tell them no. Mm-hmm. Thirdly, don't put no fucking quick weave on a 1-year-old head. Period. That's out. That's out. I don't give a damn. No.
Moving out my seat. Hey yo, yeah, who did that? You canceled.
And last but not least, per usual, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Leave us feedback. We want to talk to y'all. We want to engage with y'all. Tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend, because we trying to get the 50 subscribers so that we could go live, because we want to talk with you guys. We don't want to keep talking to you. We want to talk with you. It ain't politicking if y'all are not involved. So get the likes up, get the subscribes up, get the follows up, share it, tell a friend, and until next time, we love y'all. Keep it real, keep it funky. Peace.
Love. Okay, so